Hello and welcome to Tutorial CU. My name is Yannick and in this video we're going to talk about constructor overloading and constructor chaining. Make sure to stick around until the very end of the video to fully understand how you can write more flexible and maintainable code when it comes to constructors. And if you have no clue about constructors, we already have an introduction video on that, so check it out right now if you have really no clue about constructors at all. Now here we have a public class bank account and we have 4 properties, and here we have our constructor. And that constructor has 4 parameters: account number, balance, account holder name, account type and all of that, and we assign the value. So pretty much very basic and default stuff. Now right here in that class we have one constructor, but we can create multiple constructors, and that's called constructor overloading. So for example, this constructor here needs 4 parameters, right? So if we want to create a bank account, like here, we have to provide account number, balance, account holder name and all of that. But we can also create a constructor like public bank account, just like that, without any parameters, just like this. Now we have a basic constructor, which we can use to create a new bank account. So let's say var account 2, for example, equals to new bank account. There we go, just like that, without providing any kind of information. Now, this is our valid state, right? We don't want to be able to create an object of type bank account without specifying an account number, account holder, and account type. That doesn't make sense, right? An account or bank account always needs any kind of a number, always needs an account holder, and for sure, maybe any kind of balance. However, account number and account holder are always required, and this is why we should really not allow an empty constructor just like that. So instead, we also don't want to be able to only be able to create a constructor using all 4 properties. No, instead, we also want to have a constructor for string, account number, and let's say account holder name. So those are the properties that we need to fill out at least. There we go. Now we will assign that. So account number equals to the parameter value account number, and account holder name equals to account holder name. Now we will see an error here because there is no constructor which is empty anymore. So we have to provide at least 2 properties, right? Account number and account name, account holder name, or we have to use the constructor with all 4 properties. And you can now see that we have that nice little +1 overload right here. So let me just pass in an account number. Let's say 1234, and let's say for the account holder name, let's again take John or John Doe or whatever, right? Now we're able to pick the first constructor with 2 parameters or the second constructor with 4 parameters, as you can see it right here. First one, second one. Well, this for sure gives us a lot of flexibility. For example, we could also say like, okay, if we don't specify an account type or an account balance, we can say the balance, but default is set to 0. And the account type, for example, in its default value, we can set it to savings. So just like that. Now our non-nullable fields will not complain anymore. Great. So this is one example of constructor overloading. If you want to become an employed C# software engineer, you have to check out our C# Progress Academy. It is a self-paced online course that teaches you full-stack web development with C# and Angular, unit testing, C# software design patterns, and so much more. You get a 14-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked, and I'm absolutely sure that this is the fastest way on how you can progress as a software developer. So check it out right now. You can find the link in the description below or popping up right now at the top right corner. And for sure, if you like this video, please give it a thumb up and subscribe to our channel because you don't want to miss any of our upcoming C# and .NET related videos, which help you become a better software developer. Alrighty, so there's one more concept I want to talk about, which is called constructor chaining, which basically means that when you call a constructor, you can call another constructor automatically. Let me just remove that bank account and bring another class right here. Alright, so here we have a new class, employee, 4 properties, name, age, is manager as a boolean, and a related employee object, which is the manager. Now, we have a constructor, which is just taking the parameters and setting the values for all of them. Now, let's just assume Then I want to create an employee who is a manager. So is manager true? But that manager does not have a manager, right? So I am the manager, I have no manager. So in that scenario, I only want to provide Yannick 30 and yes, I am a manager, but I don't have a related manager object. So in that way, what we can do here is to create a new constructor employee. We only have string name, int age, and the boolean is manager, just like that. Now we can see that I can for sure create that object, but let's say that we also always want to have a value for that manager, whatever value it is, right? And in that way we can call another constructor by adding a colon. Let me just bring that to the next line of code right after the constructor, but outside of the curly braces right here. And now I can call again this, open up another constructor and put in all the information. So let's say name, age. Now I can write down null. I don't have an employee manager object, and I again can say is manager. So right now we create an object right here with 3 properties. We pass it in right here because that's the matching signature, name, age, and is manager. And that automatically passes it to the constructor with the 4 properties, and here we will initialize the object with all 4 values. So even though we only provided 3 properties, in the end we will have all the information provided in the constructor with the 4 properties. So this is just pretty handy. It's not really about that manager object and all of that. It's just so that you understand that you can pass the information from one constructor to another constructor to provide specific values, like we did it here with the null value, to then set up and initialize the object inside of a different constructor. Maybe the most basic constructor that you always want to call. Great, so and that's it for constructor overloading and constructor chaining. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you no longer miss any upcoming videos, and for sure check out our C# Progress Academy to boost your developer career. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back in the next video.